Hey United Indy agents, this is video 2 on our early year series of videos, probably going to be one more after this, about forms changes. Today we're going to be talking about the buyer's exclusive agency contract. Quick note, as I predicted, this form is going to become mandatory if you want to represent buyers, and I think that's going to be happening by the end of this year. So currently I don't require it because it isn't required, but sometime soon it is going to be required. When it gets to that point, we'll have plenty of notice and we will train you guys on how to use the form properly. But anyway, currently right now, forms changes. Really what they've done, a lot of these changes are going to look very familiar to you because they're making it look more and more like a listing contract. So a lot of this language was pulled from the listing contract that you're used to. Anyway, this first line 6 and 7 just states that the contract automatically extends through a closing period. So for example, you have a buyer agency contract that expires May 1st. If that buyer goes under contract April 20th and closes May 20th, that even though it technically expires on May 1st, because it's pending, the contract and the agreement goes through to closing. The next change here just talks about agency relationships. So you should read through that. It's just all the things you're required to do as a buyer's agent for your buyer. The next block down further describes that. Also reminds you, and this is also in the listing contract, that any confidentiality or any accounting information that you have on your client, you are not allowed to share that with anybody, not just during the contract period, but also beyond that. So even after closing, you would never be able to share that information with anybody. And it also reaffirms that as a buyer's agent, you don't owe any obligations to the seller, except that you will treat them all honestly and not knowingly give the other side false information. And that's a good reminder that even if your client wants you to lie to the other side, you are not legally allowed to do that. Okay? The next, I'll just bang these out real quick. There's 4 changes here, again, all very familiar to you. Fair housing. So it added fair housing language to this. One interesting note, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe that the federal fair housing has yet to include gender identity as a protected class, but the National Association of Realtor Code of Ethics has. So you can't discriminate on those on gender identity. There's a legal disclaimer, and that's just like your purchase agreement and the listing agreement. If your client has any very specific accounting, legal questions, anything like that, they need to, realtors are not experts in those areas of expertise, and they need to seek that advice somewhere else. Attorney fees, that just means whoever, if there's ever litigation between the buyer and the seller, that the prevailing party does have the option of asking for to be reimbursed attorney fees. And then the wire fraud information that you're all familiar with. Really, that's about it. They've also added an addendum to buyer's exclusive agency contracts. So if you ever need to add new language and it doesn't fit on this original agreement, you now have that addendum. As always, guys, give me a call if you have any questions, especially about this form as it becomes more and more prevalent in our industry. Okay, that's it. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.